In this video, I'm going to be talking about one of the most powerful yet most misunderstood brawlers in Brawl Stars, Kit. I'll be explaining what actually makes Kit so strong, and then I'll give you tips for how to play and counter Kit effectively. Kit is one of the strongest brawlers in Brawl Stars, but not for the reason most people think. And not for the reason Supercell thinks either, because apparently they thought that Hamburger needed to be nerfed. Most of the Brawl Stars community seems to be worried about Kit plus tank comps, which is often referred to as Kit cheese. It's insane that playing a brawler as intended is called cheese, by the way. In fact, Kit tank is so prevalent that I've picked Kit in my ranked games on stream before without a tank on my team, and my whole chat has gotten mad at me because they think you can only play Kit when you're riding a tank. So before I go into why Kit is actually one of the best brawlers in the game, let's talk about how to counter Kit tank. If you can counter a tank, you can counter Kit on top of a tank. I think you get the point. I know that it's annoying on ladder when you queue with randoms in knockout as Dynamite and both of your teammates are throwers and you've got to kill a BB, but that was gonna be a problem anyways. Kit jumping on the back of the tank kind of turns the game into a 2v3. Sure, one of those two is extremely powerful, but it's still a 2v3. I'm not saying that using Kit as a support is horrible and that you should never do it, but if you're only playing Kit as a support, you're basically missing out on all of the things that make Kit really overpowered. First of all, let's talk about gadgets, because they nerfed Cheeseburger, which I understand, maybe to make ladder a little bit more bearable, but let's get something straight. Cheeseburger is not better. Kit's other gadget not only allows Kit to go invisible, which is terrifying, but if you stand still, you get a ton of supercharge from it, which means that you can get your extremely strong unmissable super even faster. Speaking of which, let's talk about the super, because the stun is way more overpowered than the heal. You get a free 1v1 with almost every brawler in the game, which ruins duels, by the way. You can get tons of free kills on out of position enemies, especially low HP ones. And even if you can't do that, you can force trades where you stun an enemy and both you and the person you stun die. And if you do that correctly, it's still super advantageous to your team. It basically forces the enemies to stick together, because if your teammates aren't in your sight line, then they're about to get killed by a Kit 100% of the time. And it could be invisible at that very moment. And then there's this matter of synergies. Because everybody thinks that Kit and tanks make the best synergies, I'm here to tell you that that's not true. You want to see the best synergies? Look no further than Clancy and Surge. Why, might you ask? Well, let's take a look inside the average Surge main's brain. Oh no, I'm so garbage. I'm gonna be level 1 forever. Wow! Thank you, Kit! Not only is Kit giving free supers to Surge and free tags to Clancy, but thanks to Clancy's high damage, Kit can basically stun a full HP opponent, and when Clancy's nearby, he's gonna finish the kill off. Having an unmissable super that forces things to stop moving makes Clancy's insane damage even more insane. Also, you can like just jump in front of somebody and kill them that way, which is pretty funny. Or you can just use it for mobility too. Alright, we're gonna do a little bit of a let's play action. So let's just ruin the enjoyability of ladder by playing this busted brawler in knockout. Shh. Almost queued with the cheeseburger. We got a guy with meteor fame on our team. Damn, bro. You do anything else? First round, invis straight up into the bush. Well, I would have gotten into the bush unchallenged regardless, so that did nothing. Okay, now we'll go. And now we're gonna jump on there so that we can live. I don't really care about supporting this guy. In fact, I'm gonna jump off now. I just wanted to live. You could play Kit with your nose. You could play Kit with anything you can touch your screen with. Let your imagination run wild. Alright, we've had a slight detour thanks to some escaped gorillas from the zoo apparently having meteor fame and being on my team. Game is closing for a maintenance break, bro. Alright, we're just gonna do a little bit of sneaky beaky. Oh my god, this Gray owns me, bro. Come on. I'm gonna get one game for my recording, and it's gonna be this game where I get bullied by a Gray. Alright, now, not only is Kit a free 1v1, he's an even freer 1v2. So, this guy had meteor fame. By the way, this Otis... Oh no, that's gonna have to be enough for you. That's gonna have to be enough for me. How am I gonna edit that into... Bro, this video is gonna be so short. This video is literally gonna be, this video is gonna be so short, bro. No, no.